Hi guys, I hope that you guys are doing pretty well today. So today is Wednesday and it's gonna be the third video that I'm gonna be doing for this week. And before I start today's video, I wanted to say thank you for those two people. Not two, because the amount of views that I have actually on my last video is 11. So I'll say thank you to those 11 people who actually saw my video yesterday, and thank you to those two people who liked it. Now it might seem that it's not a lot, but for me it is, because I have people watching me being better every day. So thank you for that, and thank you for the support as well, because you're not forced to do it, so you just do it because you genuinely wanted to do it. So today was kind of like a busy day, because today is Wednesday and the practice that I usually go to has around like 50, maybe at max 60 patients on Wednesday. So it was a lot of patients for me to see with the providers I'm currently working with. So for those who didn't know and we're brand new to the channel, I'm Sam and I'm a medical scribe right now, and I'm also a pre-med student and a bunch of other stuff in between that will not bring any value to the video that I'm currently recording if I say or even talk about them. So I'm just gonna keep the scribing part and also the pre-medical part, which is the main reason why I made this channel and what the whole channel is about. So yeah, welcome. And the thing that I do on this channel, maybe on every video, is talking about a specific subject to improve my communication skills, and also how I organize my thoughts and how I communicate with people, which is pretty much the same thing that I've said at the beginning. But yeah, for some kind of reason I always want to explain myself and make me as clear as possible. So yeah, I think it's time for me to start watching the camera right now. So today's subject is gonna be about effective note-taking strategies for success. So in a nutshell, I'm gonna tell you what kind of strategy that I use when it comes to me taking notes, what works for me, and it might work for you, might not work for you. If it does not, I'm really sorry, but I'm not accountable for it. But if it does, I'm happy that you find a new technique, or I just literally talk about what you're doing right now. So yeah, if you're doing the same thing as me, it's working for me. Sorry, you're probably doing something right. So yeah, let's get into the subject. So today we're going to be talking about note taking strategies, and I came with 5 strategies that I use when I'm taking my notes. And the first one is read your content first. The first mistake that people tend not to do is not getting used or maybe familiar to the content that they're trying to study. So if you're taking notes, so I expect you to read the content, read the chapter, skim through it, read it totally, like the entire chapter before I go to class. It will honestly not take more than 15 minutes to open a book and read a chapter. So, and it also gives you heads up and kind of let you know what the chapter is going to be about and make you much more comfortable, and actually start giving you possible questions, ideas that you might ask your teacher on your lecture. So read your content first will help you get used to the content and kind of let your mind know what you're about to do when set your mind to do it. At least that's what I do. That's what I think it does in my mind. So that's why I'm talking about it, though I'm talking about it right now. So read the content will allow you to get used to the chapter, get to know what they're going to talk about, and also come up with possible questions, interesting questions that you might ask the teacher on the lectures. You might never know. You might get to know your teacher by asking those kind of questions if they're not stupid. So that's why reading the chapter is really important, because there are some questions that you ask in lectures that are really stupid. I'm not talking about you specifically, but some other people to other lectures that I've been to, like questions literally about what the chapter may be, a specific personage, not personage, I'll just say character because I can't even say it. Like a specific questions about a specific character, maybe a question about a specific events on the chapter, which was already well defined, but just because they did not read the chapter, they did not review it, they don't know what the chapter is even about, so they just has the question in the way. So please read your chapter, get to know what your teacher is gonna talk about or what your teacher is gonna present on the class. Get used to it. It will help you in your lecture. So this was the first thing that the first strategy that I used with me taking notes. Which is weird because he does not say that what kind of note that you need to take, but I've still included it as one of the strategy that you can use for better note taking. And the second strategy that I brought today is pay attention to your title and subtitles. So, titles and subtitles are clue, at least for me. So I see them as clue and has like a big summary of what different passages are about. So if you are reading a book, of course, I expect the book to have chapters. So the chapters will pretty much like summarize in one sentence what the whole content is going to be about, the specific section of the book is going to be about. So sometimes the chapter is not really long, so it's a short chapter, which might possibly have the name of the specific, not subject, but I'll say the name of the specific theory, for example, or the name of the specific place that something is taking place, specific location that something is taking place, too much place, yeah. Specific location that something is taking place. So the chapter can actually give you clue and let you know what the specific section is. And if you're taking notes, so I expect you to highlight your chapters while it's underline them, because when you're reviewing and skimming really fast on your last review, maybe I do not know where you are on your review before your exam, so your chapters can kind of like let you see real quick what you need to review and what you can skim or not review. So I guess you guys already get it. So your chapter, try to highlight them, not all of them, but does you think that you need to or you have to do so because it's a brand new subject for you. You do not know anything about the subject, first time you studying it. So yeah, use the chapter and subtitles use your title, chapters, or subtitles as a clue because I have a message. Because they can help you understand or let you know what the specific section that you're about to study or the specific section that your teacher is about to talk about, that your teacher will talk about, is about. I know it's too much about, but that's it. I'm not gonna try to come up with anything else because I'm just off from a 10-hour shift and right now my mind is just... The third strategy that I came up with today is do not try to type or write down everything. So this is something that I had a really big problem with when I first started taking notes. So my thing was, if I'm in a lecture for 30 or maybe 45 minutes, so I'm taking about back in high school, so I'll try to write down as much as possible so that later I know what I exactly need to review. But one thing that I ended up finding out in college is it does not matter how much you write down. At the end of the day, you'll still have to do some extra work because the teacher is not only gonna quiz you about what he or she talk about in lectures, they're also gonna quiz you about other stuff that they also talk about but they did not dive deeper. So your teacher or your lecturer is pretty much like a big summary of what the real work is. So that's why I do not only rely on what my teachers say right now when I go to my lectures, because I know that they are just broadly summarizing or introducing the chapters and maybe the notion into the class, and they're not going to dive deep into everything because honestly they do not have time for this, and they also need to help those students who generally do not have any knowledge on what the subject is or what the topic is for the class. So it's going to be really difficult because students will ask questions, will need to answer those questions, but they also need to go to the chapters and do the chapter and do what it has to do, which is introduce the chapter to the class. So that's one of the reasons why I generally do not rely, and I kind of started being okay with the fact that I'm not gonna write down everything because it's of course not gonna cover everything while talking to it in lecture, and then the second thing is gonna be a waste of time. By me trying to write down everything, I would actually take a step back and think about the notion and get the full experience of what the notion is, or get, I'll say, a really better understanding of what it is trying to explain, because my main focus will be about writing everything down, but I really won't understand everything or what I wrote down because they were not writing down in my own words. So that's one of the reasons why, again, that I do not try to write down everything that my teacher says. So the fourth strategy for note taking, it's my fourth strategy for note taking, is use markers for your brain. So the thing that I mean by markers is you can use a pencil to underline your titles, subtitles, or you can use your pencil or highlighters to underline a specific section of the chapters, which is pretty much the same thing that I've said before. So markers for me are anything. So it can be your highlighters, highlighters or highlighters. Highlighters, I think it's highlighter, not highlighters. Highlighters, I think it's a beauty thing. But I think, yeah, so you can use your pencil, you can use your pen, you can use your highlighters, like anything that can help you mark a specific section of the chapter that you either need to review or need to make more research on. So I use them a lot, and I also use different colors. So different colors might be a little too much, a little too fancy, but I know the reason why I use different colors, just because I need to tell my mind or make the distinction for my mind that this is something important, this is something really, really, really important. So I kind of like make it very much more easier for myself, so that I know exactly which color that I need to review, which color that I need to start working on, or which color is something else that I can skim, or if I have time, or if at the end that I can pretty much review, but it's not a priority right now. So it does help me to fix my priorities, and also help me to come back to some stuff that I really need to come back to, and it's way much more easier for me to use markers, and not to use markers, it's so much more easier for me studying using markers, because I know exactly which colors that I need to put my priorities on, because it's not about the colors or what you use, but for me it's colors mostly. So the fifth and the last of strategy for note taking, or which is this, I was about to say the same damn thing. So the fifth and last strategy that I use for note taking is write your note the way you will understand it later. So again, this is something that I've learned like 2 semesters ago. It was in my math class. So my math teacher told me, or told the class, do not try to write down every single thing that I'm saying, because I'm saying it in my own words, and not all of you guys will understand what you wrote down later, or what you wrote down later won't be useful for you when it will be time for you to review it, because you won't be able to understand it. The reason why I took a step back, analyzed it, and decided, and decided to, not focus on writing down every single thing that the teacher is saying. It's because the teacher is saying or explaining the knowledge, the notion, the topic using his own words. So it has specific jargons or specific vocabulary words that he used that I'm not comfortable with. So by trying to write down exactly what the teacher said, so it will be extra work for me, because I will first of all write down every single thing exactly the way that he or she said it, and then secondly I'll have to, when I'm reviewing, go make some extra research to know what kind of word it is, because I might never use this word, or I do not know how this word is used for the specific context that I'm trying to study the notion with. And the third will be just me studying it. So me studying it will involve like an extra step that I could avoid if I just write down the notion or write down my note the way that I could have understand it. So that's one of the reasons why I try to write less, but I will also be cautious about what I'm writing. So I'll listen, try to understand, and if it does not click and I also need to review it, so I will write it down. Or I'm not gonna try to write down exactly what it's saying, but I'll write down like what passages that the stuff that I need to review is, or what topic it is, which is I think the same thing. So I'm gonna conclude this video and cut it, because I think I've already said too much, even if it's not even gonna be 10 minutes, bro. So yeah, I'm just gonna cut it. So thank you guys for watching this video, and I really like talking about the stuff that I talk about. I think today I did better, but I did not really watch the camera, so I'm gonna try to do better tomorrow and improve myself. So I will see you guys tomorrow in another video. Hopefully tomorrow's video is gonna be early, because my 1 p.m. shift has been moved to 8 p.m. so I will have time to do stuff that I want in the rest of the day, or just enjoy my rest of the day, my rest day. So yeah, tomorrow's video is gonna be much more earlier than this one. So, and there is no end, there is no stop. Thanks for watching this, guys. I'll see you on another video tomorrow. Bye.